Landmark study shows legal marijuana sales reduce crime. By Matt Agarist, July 15, 2017. Good people don't smoke marijuana. Jeff Sessions, Attorney General. I reject the idea that America will be a better place if marijuana is sold in every corner store. And I am astonished to hear people suggest that we can solve our harrowing crisis by legalizing marijuana so people can trade one life-wrecking dependency for another that's only slightly less awful, President Donald Trump's darling Attorney General, Jeff Sessions said earlier this year. Our nation needs to say clearly once again that using drugs will destroy your life. While any sane person with half a brain can easily see how ignorant and outright irresponsible Sessions' comments are, a new study on marijuana shops shows just how asinine this man's policy actually is. Contrary to the fear-mongering from the champion of the prison industrial complex, legal weed actually reduces crime. In the study, titled, Going to Pot: The Impact of Dispensary Closures on Crime, researchers Tom Y. Chang from the USC Marshall School of Business, and Miri Jacobson from the Paul Mirage School of Business at UC Irvine, looked at what happens with the government-forced medical marijuana dispensaries to close. What they found was immediately following a closure of a dispensary, crime rates went up. Contrary to popular wisdom, we found an immediate increase in crime around dispensaries ordered to close relative to those allowed to remain open, Jacobson told Science Daily. The researchers noted that dispensaries actually increase the walkability score of a neighborhood, which deters criminal activity. Advertisement. The connection between restaurants and MMDs is that they both contribute to the walkability score of a given area. Areas with higher scores have more eyes upon the street, a factor that is proven to deter some types of crime, said Jacobson. Read more. Sheriff tells family he's sorry after officers starved their mentally ill son to death. Directly challenging Sessions' ignorance on the matter, the researchers explicitly noted the opposite of what he says is true. Our results demonstrate that the dispensaries were not the crime magnets that they were often described as, but instead reduced crime in their immediate vicinity, said Jacobson. What this study illustrates is that Sessions' policies of bringing back DARE, continuing to clamp down on pot, and removing states' rights, would not only be detrimental to fighting the opioid epidemic, but it would also create more crime. This study, while it may not be groundbreaking to those who pay attention to the effects of the war on drugs, is certainly a landmark on the path to legal weed. As the Free Thought Project has reported numerous times, government outlawing substances is a catalyst for criminal behavior. When the government makes certain substances illegal, it does not remove the demand. Instead, the state creates crime by pushing the sale and control of these substances into the illegal black markets. All the while, demand remains constant. We can look at the prohibition of alcohol and the subsequent mafia crime wave that ensued as a result as an example. The year 1930, at the peak of prohibition, happened to be the deadliest year for police in American history. 300 police officers were killed, and innumerable poor people slaughtered as the state cracked down on drinkers. Outlawing substances does not work. Criminal gangs form to protect sales territory and supply lines. They then monopolize the control of the constant demand. Their entire operation is dependent upon police arresting people for drugs because this grants them a monopoly on their sale. Read more. F. King BCH. Cop punches handcuffed 1-4-YO girl on video, twice not guilty. However, the illegality of drug possession and use is what keeps the low-level users and dealers in and out of the court systems, driving an entire industry that deals in ruining human lives. This revolving door of creating and processing criminals fosters the phenomenon known as recidivism. Recidivism is a fundamental concept of criminal justice that shows the tendency of those who are processed into the system and the likelihood of future criminal behavior. The war on drugs takes good people and turns them into criminals every single minute of every single day. The system is set up in such a way that it fans the flames of violent crime by essentially building a factory that turns out violent criminals. The system knows this too. When drugs are legalized, gang violence drops drastically. Not only does it have a huge effect on the localized gangs in America, but the legalization of drugs is crippling to the violent foreign drug cartels too. Until Americans educate themselves on the cause of this violence, uninformed and corrupt lawmakers will continue to focus on controlling the symptoms. When looking at Sessions' policies, and the mountain of evidence showing how detrimental to freedom and progress they are, we come to two possible reasons he continues to push them. The first reason, and least likely one, is that Sessions is a blithering idiot who actually buys into the reefer madness nonsense. However, the second and more likely reason is that Sessions knows his policies create crime and bolster the prison industrial complex, and he and his good old boy network of tyrants in D.C. stand to make a killing by perpetuating the drug war. Read more, Officer to Citizen, you must be doing something wrong if you invoke your rights. Either way, this tyrant, and tyrants like him, are bad for your liberties. The good news is that the tide is shifting and people like Jeff Sessions are being exposed for what they are. Studies like this one are proof that freedom, not oppression, is the true catalyst for peace.
Hey, Sheriff, we have a question about why your office, your intelligence division, is investigating private citizens for criminal investigation that happen to be activists that are overseeing your department. Why would you have your intelligence division investigate private citizens? We have done...
For life hating so much.
Sir, we don't hate anyone. We love freedom and we love American people. And government is out of control. That's why you're seeing such a revolt nationwide. Why can't you just answer, why is Susan Edwards, your intelligence division, investigating private citizens? This should not happen.
Are you here to apply for a job?
Possibly I might be applying for a job, but that's irrelevant to my question. Why would you ask that question?
Well, enjoy the fair.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Excuse you?
Excuse me, sir.
So those of you that haven't
Wow.
been on a bike before, we're
Sheriff's getting a little too pushy. You work for us, Sheriff. Just keep that in mind. At one time we respected you, but not with that type of attitude.
Hey Charlotte County, this is Charlotte County Cop Watch, and I wanted to explain what fair use is. You can use pieces of news articles if you're doing it for news reporting, you have commentary, and you're doing it for education purposes. So that's what fair use is, as you can see right here. Another reason why I wanted to make this video is to let you know I have just joined with Patreon. A nice thing with Patreon, I make no money on YouTube. They took the money away years ago, and so this is another way to give, and it's a nice thing too because you can give monthly. You can give $1, $5, $10, whatever. I do 4 to 5 hours a day on trying to wake the sheeple up on how corrupt it is and different ways that you can fight the corruption. So Patreon is a way that you can do it, and then of course the old way is still there. Donate to Charlotte County Cop Watch with PayPal or credit card. So keep that in mind. 4 to 5 hours a day. I make no money, but the corruption happened to me and I'm sick of it, so I'm trying to wake people up. But my wife would love it if some, if we could get some help out there. There's 47,000 subscribers. Just think if each one of you subscribers just gave a, let's say, actually, yes, $1 a month. 47,000 subscribers gave $1 a month. That would be awesome. That's not going to happen. But anyways, that would be great if it did happen. But, do the math in your head. Just think about it. Like I said, 4 to 5 hours a day. I get no money from YouTube. YouTube has gone nuts. You can't do anything anymore. They're taking the money away everywhere. So these are a couple different ways that you can still help out with all this time that I put in. And as you know, I'm in a special situation where, at least I can do it. 4 to 5 hours a day. We have a cleaning company during the day. That's what allows me to do this, and we're debt-free. So this is my hobby. I don't go fishing and all that other crap. I try to save the world. So help me out to make the wife happy, man. In fact, if you guys did give $1 a day, and there was 47,000 of you, and you did it, and each of you gave $1, and that was every month, oh my God, yes, I could quit. I could start suing them. Another idea too that we have is, if I got, some funds, we could actually contact everyone that has been ticketed and or arrested and put in jail and start sending them postcards to let them know we're here, and to see if everything went all right, and if it didn't, find out their story. So we could even do more investigations and more lawsuits. Lawsuits take money. So just think about that. 47,000 of you so far right now. $1 a day. $1 a month on Patreon, or $5 a month Patreon, 10, 20, whatever. Just do the math in your head. Help out. This is a lot of work every single day. Thanks.